Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to perform another analysis here. The company is called Jumia Technologies, and the ticker symbol is JMIA. This was a security that was recently IPO'd and is considered the Africa e-commerce or Africa Amazon, or okay, better words, the Amazon of Africa. Um, so pretty interesting security. So what I have right here on the chart, as you can see, let's jump right into the technical analysis. It did IPO recently, and you can see that it did go through an IPO pop. You might not see it on this current time frame. It is the daily time frame. But if I jump a little bit closer and look at the market action, you kind of start to see, okay, it IPO'd around $18 and it had that pop. So typically when you have an IPO pop, it's relatively bullish looking. And then following the pop, it rallied the next day. Next day, it rallied from, let's see, 27 all the way to $39. So several dollars up to the upside, and then closed its way down. Again, next day, following day after that, another pop. So very nice IPO pop, and then follow through momentum. And then today we had a sell, a sort of a sell off, and that makes sense because the security traveled quite a bit. But I do anticipate this could potentially have a little bit more upside. Again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell, just purely my educational analysis and how I share my insights to the people on YouTube and the rest of the world. Just so you know, this constant me practicing the art of trading, sharing my knowledge. If you go back and forth with this, you get input, output, and all that. The theory behind it is that I should be able to improve my own trading. So that's sort of thing when you kind of dedicate yourself to being forever a student of the markets. But anyways, guys, that's my quick technical analysis as to where I see prices potentially going next, or the hunch, the feeling, right? But if I were to draw you guys some solid lines as to where I think the security could go, let's see, it did break trend right here, so it's looking a little bearish. So for now, since we don't have that much data, I think around $35 to maybe $36 will act as support in the near term. But this is a interesting security if you analyze it from a bigger market perspective, right? And if I recall correctly, let's see, this security would be worth about 2 point something billion dollars, which is relatively small. I do have right here the prospectus, and so yes, this video is kind of going into both, from technical analysis to now fundamental analysis. But we won't go into a deep fundamental analysis. I just want to show you some key points as to why this security looks interesting to me. So initially, the IPO pop caused me to have some interest into it, and the follow through momentum as well. So I could see that there is interest in this security, and not a lot of people know about it compared to something like a Lyft or Uber. But anyways, looking at the initial prospectus here on Jumia, just showing you the market opportunity that I see, just kind of reading a little bit about it. So, one interesting fact that I did not realize after reading this, and the beauty of really reading about companies around the world, is that you get to learn not only about a specific segment, how it operates in the world, or businesses around the world, but it teaches you things I guess you wouldn't have thought or known about the world in general. So population-wise, so I was reading through the prospectus, I learned that in Africa, the continent, South Africa continent, there's more than 1 billion people on that continent. I had no idea this whole time. This whole time I was just thinking just China, India. But through reading these prospectuses and constantly coming back to the investor game or trading game, I do learn a lot more. So if you want to check those numbers real quick, let's see, continent population, and you'll start to see the numbers. So number one, Asia, 4.4 billion. So that's including Indians and Chinese people. And then Africa, 1.2 billion. So I was a little mind blown when I heard that. But this is good analysis because when you analyze a company and its total market potential, now you kind of see like, okay, they're going to serve, hopefully if this company is the one of the leading e-commerce companies in Africa, they'll, maybe ultimately serve that market, that huge market opportunity. I mean, if you look at Amazon, they have about, whatever population is in the U.S. If they're primarily heavy in the U.S., so that'd be about 350 to 400 million in population. So this one would really trump that in 3x. Another thing before I jump into the quick fundamental analysis of Jumia here is that Jeff Bezos did release a letter to shareholders, an annual letter to shareholders, and it was probably one of the best reads that I enjoy reading every year. He basically said that, even though, where Amazon is today and its level of penetration into the marketplaces, it hasn't even scratched 90% of the world e-commerce. I'm sorry, world brick and mortar business. So there's a lot of opportunity, apparently, at least in Jeff Bezos' eyes, a lot of upside for Amazon. Now, not a recommendation, just a intelligent analysis of his annual letter to shareholders. With that being said, let's jump right into this quick analysis of Jumia. I'm just going to show you a few key things that I personally enjoyed. And it's really just two pictures. But anyways, so what is it, right? So the easiest way to think of what Jumia Technology is it's the e-commerce or the Amazon of Africa. And again, this is a ADR, American Depository Receipt, traded on the American Exchange. So let's take a look. What is it that their application does? It's a technology company. Jumia's products and services help African consumers save time and money on their everyday needs. So one brand, single sign-on, full integration. But when I look at it a little bit deeper, I start to see a lot more than what meets the eye, right? Yes, it is a marketplace. That's what I initially thought. So in a marketplace, you could buy a smartphone, buy shoes, buy groceries, right? So this looks like something that they're going to add to. But yes, that's initially what I thought it was, a marketplace to buy shoes and smartphones. So maybe that's the initial product that they're rolling out. Because if you look at Amazon, Amazon started off selling just books. And now Amazon sells everything from A to Z. uh, Now, the other segment that their application or technology offers is Jumia Logistics. So it looks like they're going to be jumping into recharge your data plan. So communication services, it sounds like. And then it also looks like they have book a flight. So this is starting to look like a travel application as well. And then also you got the find a hotel and then order, which is going to be added. And then the last part is Jumia Pay, which is sort of a payment type of model. So this tells me it's kind of imitating like the PayPal slash Venmo model. But anyways, that's basically the market opportunity that Jumia is communicating to shareholders. One more interesting chart. Now I know this is kind of sideways, and let's see what I could do with this because I do want to show you. Well, let's do this. Jumia. Nope, I can't do that. Let's go back. Looking at this sideways, it's going to be kind of hard. Let's see if I were to save this, capture yes, and then open up the capture. Oop, let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh wait, nope, that's not it. Capture. Just 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Capture. Open up this file right here, and I'll drag it over and I'll rotate it for you guys. There we go. So just kind of looking at this last part of the analysis, because I don't like to keep these videos going too long. These are type of analysis that people could probably lose their attention if I go on for like 20 minutes to 30 minutes. But anyways, Jumia is a marketplace similar to Amazon where they're serving sellers as well as buyers. In this case, it's referred to as consumers. So what exactly are sellers? Brands, local sellers, cross-border. So they're going to be helping bringing, ideally, sort of similar to Alibaba and Jack Ma, bringing brick and mortar physical businesses online, hopefully, right? Or at least give them access to other forms of liquidity. Looking elsewhere, access to a large and growing consumer base, that's great. Localized seller center interface, integration with Jumia Logistics, so this is the transportation stuff. Seller financial services, so give them access to financing, unique data, and brand building on their platform, on their marketplace. So very similar to, again, the Amazon similar to Amazon. Now, this is where I started reading and I was like, whoa, I did not know that. But 1.2 billion people uh, is where they view the opportunity, and only 400 out of that 1.2 billion people, 450 million internet users. So if that's the case, then there are still a lot of people that could come online and use this type of services or product. And then the last part is 4.0 trillion in spending is the anticipation out of the 1.2 billion people on that continent. So very, very interesting stuff. This reminds me of the similar company Flipkart that was acquired by Walmart, right? So this is the Africa. It just seems that every continent needs to have its strong e-commerce player. So USA, Amazon, China, Alibaba, and then Africa, and then India, which is Flipkart, and now hopefully maybe Jumia. For Africa. So interesting stuff. And then the last few things I want to go over is selection of price and convenience, local language, local currency, product quality and consumer protection, fast and reliable delivery, and local secure payments. So this is starting to look like a pretty interesting company. How they execute, how they plan to ramp, business, sales, is something that I'd like to continue to monitor as we go. But for the most part, this is a security that looks a lot more interesting to me initially out of the gate in an IPO compared to something overvalued like a Lyft or Uber. So that, guys, is my sort of a long analysis. I think I'm going into like 10 minutes here, but I hope you guys enjoyed the short initial technical analysis and then slightly in-depth sort of quick fundamental analysis. Hope to see you guys next time. Thanks so much.